This is Corey with iGo Fitness. I'm back with my good friend Tanya, and today we're going to show you how to foam roll. Now, foam rolling, or self-myofascial tissue release, if you like the scientific version of things, is a really great way to regenerate and recover after you're done with your exercise. You're training for a half marathon, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Tanya's training for a half marathon, so it's really important for runners, but for anybody who's doing any type of repetitive work, and even if you're not doing that much exercise, it's still a good idea to foam roll and really get those knots out of your muscles. But when you're running, as runners can attest to, and Tanya, I'm sure you can too, you really develop, there's a lot of trauma on the legs, so if you're doing any type of repetitive work, you're going to build up scar tissue when the muscle breaks down and rebuilds itself. You're also going to have knots in the muscle fascia, which is the webbing around your muscles, and you really want to work those things out. So stretching is definitely key, but foam rolling is really going to take the muscles, stretch them out, and then kind of iron them and really get the knots out, smooth it out, and also develop or increase the circulation to the area so that you're going to get better blood flow to the area. It's going to recover a lot faster. You're going to be faster, stronger, better, all those superlatives. So we're going to get into it, and we'll start on the floor. Now, we'll start with the quadriceps. It's a major muscle group right here in the front of your leg. Move my bag out of the way for you. All right. And so the idea here is that you want to try to put as much pressure on the limb as possible. So if you notice, Tanya's using her left leg and her upper body to propel herself back and forth. So she's taking that roller up and down the muscle, but just keeping this right leg relaxed here. And then also, if your arms are tired, we just did a workout. If your arms are tired, you go down into a plank position there so you don't have to use as much shoulder strength, not as much of a demand. And the nice thing about this is real fluid. You can just flip right over into a little IT band stretch. So we'll go other side. Definitely really important to get the IT band for anybody, especially runners, because it's connective tissue and you can't really stretch it out that well. So rolling or getting a massage is going to be one of the only ways you're really going to attack that. A lot of people have knee problems and they're wondering where it starts, and it's that band that connects the hip and the knee. So ilia, the hip, tibia, shin connects that right there, and that's going to be involved in everything where you're running, pulling, doing anything, squats. So really important to go all the way up to the hip, all the way down to the knee. Find the spot that makes you want to cry, and that's the spot you need to focus on. That's where you need some work.
That's why I'm still on the hip up here.
Yeah. So higher up, if it's close to the hip, it's actually a good thing. So good. Speaking of the hips, we can roll over now and get the hip flexors. Basically, you're going to just find where your hip is, and there's going to be a little gap right below that. Women, your hips might be a little bit wider than mine are, but there's going to be a little gap right below that, and you're going to try to find that area, and usually that's going to be where the affected spot is. And again, same thing, trying to relax the leg that you're trying to roll and propel yourself forward and back with the rest of the body. You want to spend anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute in each area, and if it hurts too much, back off of it a little bit, or try to at least put a little pressure on that leg, but try to spend some time on it because you really got to work those knots out. Good. All right, now go ahead and get the glutes since we're up near the hip area. Back towards me a little bit. Good. All right, so now we're just getting the glutes. Same idea. You don't even have to know too much about anatomy to foam roll. You can just kind of roll around until you find a spot where it hurts, and that's generally an area that you need some work on. Major thing to remember though is you want to avoid rolling your bones, but you'll kind of be able to tell the difference between your soft tissue muscles and your bones. So you might find that one side is tighter than the other, and that's okay. That happens. We all live as symmetrically as possible, but we all tend to have dominant sides and weaker sides, so you're going to find that one side might be really knotted up and the other might not be quite as bad. Alright, now we'll move down to the calves, which is a great tricep workout as well.
Which I don't need really right now, but that's okay.
We definitely just did a nice little tricep burnout. Maybe we'll show that to you in a later video. And it's a killer. So as you can see, you can start here. This is the first progression, just rolling the calf on there. Now if you need to make it a little bit deeper, go ahead and cross one leg over the other. And now you're going to be suspended in the air, putting a lot of pressure on that calf. Again, taking it down from the Achilles all the way up to that popliteal space behind the knee. So we're going to get the entire calf, and then we're going to roll on the inside and the outside. So remember, inside, outside. full length of the muscles, so from joint to joint. You want to make sure that you're not leaving any part out when you're doing this. And less affected might be your hamstrings and your adductors, but you can also get up in that area as well. So hamstrings just right underneath. Good. And then for adductors, you can just turn toward me a little bit here, and then same thing. So make sure we get the inner part quad as well. If you're doing a lot of single leg work, you're going to be stabilizing with the adductors. You might find that they're a little tighter than you think. So doing a lot of this can relieve or alleviate joint pain, joint issues, muscle imbalances. You might find all of a sudden you start rolling your hamstrings, your back feels a little bit better, you roll your calves, your feet feel a little bit better. So it's all connected, trying to make the body more functional and more powerful, so you really want to make sure that you give back to your body, give back what it's putting out. Alright, and there's a little bonus, we'll show you a little upper body. We're going to get the lats as well too, because we kind of worked those a little bit today as well. And so again, it's just finding a nice comfortable way to move yourself back and forth. And you can control how much pressure you put on the foam roll. And unless you're shooting a video, you can control how much time you spend rolling a particular area. How do you feel?
Pretty good. I want one more.
Okay, so we're going to go for the thoracic spine here.
Which, you can't hear that, but got a little cracking going on. It's alright.
So thoracic spine, again, I talk about this all the time, but sometimes you might be tempted to roll your lower back. You want to avoid the lower back. You don't need any more movement in the lower back. You need the movement here. So if your lower back feels stiff, it's probably because this up here or the hips down here aren't moving the way they should. So you want to roll in those areas above and below the lower back, lumbar area, and you might find that's going to loosen things up all around for you. So if you're sitting at a desk tight like this, I mean anybody, you're driving, you're doing bench press, you're going to be in like this. Make sure you roll that, get that back, get some movement back in your thoracic spine, and promise you'll be a lot better off for it. Alright, well, that's it for this week. See you next week. Keep going.